Hey guys, tonight we're doing another, I guess, Great Depression cooking episode. I'm using the Foxfire book, The Best of Appalachian Cooking. This book is pretty cool. Tonight I'm doing easy pan bread, is what it's called, but actually it's a biscuit. You use your favorite biscuit recipe and you make it in a pan. You just add a little more milk. The recipe I'm choosing today, actually both recipes are on page 192 and 193. The easy pan bread was made by Miss Oline Garland. It says this is a good recipe to use if you don't want to make a mess or take the time to roll your biscuits out. Mix up your desired biscuit recipe, adding more milk than usual, and to make a thinner batter. You pour it into a greased baking pan and cook it at 425 degrees until lightly golden brown. Okay, so she's saying use your favorite biscuit recipe. When my kids were growing up, I used what I called a mayonnaise biscuit. Danny had never heard of a mayonnaise biscuit. He thought that was the weirdest thing. But on page 192 in our book, Mayonnaise Biscuits, guess what? This is where it came from. Miss Hattie Watkins. This recipe does not rise as much as others, and it will make a perfect dumpling if you roll it out and let it set for 10 to 15 minutes. And you can drop it into your thickened gravy. But to make the mayonnaise biscuits, use 2 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and water or milk. I'm going to use almond milk. And I've already got my flour out and my mayonnaise ready. It says to stir in the mayonnaise, add only enough milk to make a moist dough, and it says roll it out and cut it. I'm not necessarily going to roll mine out and cut it. I never did. I didn't like rolling biscuits out. I did drop biscuits, but that doesn't matter. We're not doing that anyway. We're doing pan biscuits. So we're going to mix a little extra water instead of a biscuity consistency. We're going to mix a little extra milk, make it, because I don't want to use water, I want to use milk. Make it a little bit thinner, pour it in like we would our cornbread, and bake it. I have a cast iron pot in my oven, a cast iron skillet ready to go. I have my 2 cups of flour. We're doing 2 big spoons of mayonnaise, and I'm adding only maybe 1/4 cup right now to start with. We're just going to mix it. Add a little bit more milk because I know since we're making this easy pan recipe. If you're one that has to have a certain amount, like a cup or whatever, measure it the first time. Once you get used to cooking, you don't measure anything. All right, this is getting to the consistency that if I wanted to roll it out, it would be perfect. Okay, that's the consistency. But we want a little more thinner in order to make an easy pan bread recipe. So we're adding more milk. I've got my mayonnaise biscuits down to a consistency about like cornbread. And we're going to pour it in this hot pan. I'm not making biscuits, I'm making easy pan bread. But I'm using the mayonnaise biscuit recipe. This just saves time when you don't want to take and make biscuits by hand and roll them out. And they're going into the oven like this. We'll show you in a few minutes what they look like. After about 15-20 minutes, my easy pan bread is out of the oven. It looks like cornbread, except it's not cornmeal. It's made with flour. It's like a giant biscuit. Brown on the bottom, lightly toasty and brown on the top. The perfect giant biscuit, my easy pan bread. So tonight with my easy pan bread, I decided I wanted a few eggs. I have my stainless steel pan here with some oil heating. I'm lightly scrambling my eggs and adding them to the pan while it's hot and bubbly. I'm adding a little bit of salt and a little pepper. And then I add, straight from my front porch, some green onions that I chopped up. We have them growing in a container near the door so I can get to them easy access anytime I want. So we're bringing the garden in closer and closer to our house. So these green onions, I just walked out, snipped off 3, chopped them up, added them to my eggs. Pretty awesome. And the eggs are from our girls, and we'll be ready to eat in a few minutes. Here I'm adding my eggs and onions to my plate. During the Great Depression, and basically anytime there was very little to eat, you ate from your place. Eggs are something that we have plenty of here, and the green onions you can grow freely in your yard easily in pots and containers so that you can break off 1 or 2 and have them anytime, because green onions grow really rapidly and you can take off of them and they still keep growing as long as you don't break the middles out. This bread, oh man, it's some pretty awesome looking stuff. Fluffy, I mean soft in the middle. It's just great. And they would have gotten flour during that time. So flour would have been something that they had got in rations. They would have used that during the Great Depression and anything they had on their place. And the cane syrup, we made cane syrup. I think they would have used that too if that was what they made in their area. All right, guys, for supper tonight, my easy pan bread with cane syrup. I've got my scrambled eggs with my green onions in it. The eggs are from our place. The green onions, I went out the front door in a pot. I have green onions. And the cane syrup we made this week. This easy pan bread is light and fluffy. Looks good. We're going to try it out. And if you like Great Depression cooking, check out the Foxfire book of Appalachian Cookery in the description below. And we'll talk to you guys later.